Hey everybody, welcome to Cranberry Essentials. Tonight I'm doing a podcast. I've been promising to do this for a while, but life just sort of got in the way and it's been a crazy week. I'm sure everybody's dealing with it. If you hear something in the background, that's my dog. He waits for the videos before he makes his noise. And if you see me not really sure where I'm supposed to be looking on the screen, it's because I've flipped the screen and now I have to figure out and train myself to look in the right place. So bear with me. Okay, so tonight's video is tentatively called, or podcast should I say, is tentatively called, I threw out the toaster and other things that I used to drive my husband insane this week. So Monday, being Monday as it is, and it was a crazy day, I was on the phones. I'm working from home, for those of you who don't know. I work on the phones, answer calls. My husband came home from work. He was very kindly putting dinner together. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, we've been married for 30 years. I put that poor boy through a lot. So he comes home and he kindly starts to cook some steak. That's lovely. He goes to throw something out and he finds the toaster in the trash. And all I can hear while I'm on the phone is, "What are you doing? Why is the toaster in the trash?" Honestly, we don't even really eat bread around here anymore. I'm gluten-free. They're cutting back on it. We haven't even had a loaf of bread in this house for I don't know how long. I got tired of looking at things on the counter that were cluttering them up, and out it went. So yeah. So as I was saying, we're getting ready to go on this journey. Where we're downsizing everything and eventually going to buy a camper and live in a camper. Now, there's only just so much you can fit in a camper. And my yarn is going to take a sizable amount of that space. So, yeah. So, somewhere in through this whole journey, and I started cleaning out closets and cleaning under beds and moving things around and transforming into this room. I sort of started thinking minimalism. Now, I'm granted, I am not one of those pull it out, does it give me joy, throw it out type of people. Excuse me. But I am someone who says, I've been looking at this for 20-something years and it's time to get rid of it. When I was growing up, my mother used to keep everything and my father used to throw it out. So I always used to say I'm somewhere in the middle between the two. I keep it for a while and then I toss it out. So yeah, so if you see my poor husband and he is upset because he has no toast, that is why I got rid of his toaster. I'll buy him another one. Those are obscene sounds coming from that dog. Hey, whiskey, enough. Yeah, so last weekend we went on yet another trip to go look at RVs and campers. Now, granted, it's almost November. It's getting cold out. I don't plan on purchasing one until I can't do it at least until the end of November. Just to get everything in place, that's when we're looking at. We're not looking at going until who knows when, because with COVID, another increase in everything that's going on and everything else, we don't feel like we can go right now. There's too much up in the air. So yeah, so we're looking at RVs and it just seems like after a while you forget what it was that you were so determined to look for in the first place. Like you go knowing, okay, I want a camper that is between 30 feet and under. I want to keep something that's not brand new, and I want something that is, you know, between this price and this price. Yeah. By the end of it, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of camper. One of them we went in was literally like $300,000. Yeah, not going to happen. And honestly, there were some other campers that were cheaper that looked just as nice. So, it's confusing. And my friend Michelle, she's going through the same thing. I know she is, especially the minimalism part, getting rid of things. It is so hard to downsize when you've spent your life accumulating things. Yeah. So that's where that stands at this moment. The other part about that is with the camper is, if we go above a certain weight limit, we're going to have to trade our truck. And for us to go up in the truck is another $10,000 added on. And I don't want to get out there and be, truck rich and cash poor because we have to pay for, a truck payment. That's not the way I want to do this. This is supposed to be fun and adventuresome and, yeah. So, again, we're still back where we were. So, I think we will get there. I think the timeline will just extend longer. And maybe our plans will have to change because our expectations will change as things change. I'm a little concerned about, the economy, what the economy's doing, all of those things. So, yeah. So that's where we stand on the camper part. I'm going to continue to downsize. My goal was to fit everything that we wanted to keep for furniture that has sentimental value or personal value in this room. My son is going to live in the house. So, things like couches. I don't have a sentimental attachment to a couch. Okay, granted, I love my couch. But, yeah, no. So, those things are fine. It's the things like my grandparents' dressers. I have a bookcase that my aunt gave me, that her aunt gave her. Things like that. Those are the things that, that we're having a hard time. I'm having a hard time with. So, yeah. And, we're going into heating season. I work for a heating company or a fuel company. And it's our busy, busy, busy time. So we've been going right out straight. So when I finally get down for the day, I'm just like, This morning I had to be to a meeting at 7 a.m. That was hard. I kind of like having to walk across the hallway and go to work. That's kind of nice. So yeah, so that's where we stand with that. It's just, there are some beautiful campers out there. I am a person who will probably never, and I say this, I most likely, if I have my way, I will never buy brand new. Mainly because anytime you buy something brand new for a vehicle or a camper or whatever, you drive it off the lot, you immediately lose some portion of the value of it immediately. You're taking the hit on that. That may be why I drive a 2007 Land Rover. It was a $60,000 vehicle, and I paid $10,000. So yeah, I'm a little cheap, a little bit. So we'll talk about some knitting. I got some more yarn in. I was talking before about the sweater that I am working on. And hopefully I can put a picture of it in here. We're going to try and say, okay, there's a video. We're going to try and put a picture in here. If not, I don't have a printout to show you. It's called the Slade pullover. It's a cowl neck pullover that has a pocket in the front like a sweatshirt would have, you know, the hand pocket in the front. And so I started doing it with Caron Simply Soft yarn in tweed. Now this may look familiar because, you know, ooh, blow up. This is, I don't know if you can really see this. This big boxy sweater is from Joji Locatelli. This is the boxty, the worsted boxty. And it was the first sweater I ever knit. And it is warm and it is comfortable. It's perfect on a day like today. It actually snowed a little bit earlier. And it's not even November. So yeah. So it's perfect. I got a t-shirt under it and I'm more than comfortable with it. It has sort of a boxy shape and very short sleeves. If I do it again, I would do the sleeves longer. If you can see that. And there are people out there who are going to say, you knit that in a Simply Soft. I did, because my life is active. I do take care of my sweaters, but I wanted something that was going to last, that I wouldn't be worried about, especially if we're going to be going on the road. I love to be able to pull on a sweater. And I knew I was new to knitting, so for me, it was the perfect yarn. It's inexpensive, but buying yarn for a sweater is not cheap. You end up investing a lot of money into something, and you sure as heck better hope you like the sweater by the time you get to the end, or you may have to frog the whole thing. That being said, so when I started out again, I was thinking about what I really like for yarn, and so I got more. And this, as I said, is the Caron Simply Soft tweed white. It says it's white. It's more of a cream color. And I got enough to finish my sweater because I was playing chicken with it. And then some. And this is where I am so far on it. So, if you can see this. The original cowl called for just a plain stockinette stitch. And I didn't want that. I wanted some sort of texture, especially around the neck. Now this will have a drawstring that goes in through it. The top, this folds over, so we didn't put a drawstring in it, or I may just leave it because I really like it. The other fun thing about this is it has, and I don't know if you can even see it. We're gonna try and not get it blown out here. There's a seated rib stitch that goes down the top of each arm, sort of like this, only continues all the way down the sleeves. And the sleeves are long, which I love long sleeves. I don't know if you can see this. There are two lifelines in this sweater. I have one up here and another one down here somewhere. Oh yeah, you can just barely see it. Lifeline. My daughter was showing the sweater to my daughter, and she's like, "What's the blue thing?" And I said, "Oh, those are my lifelines." And she's like, "Lifelines?" Yeah, lifelines. Because I learned the hard way that if I don't put lifelines in it to rip it back, it's going to come back and haunt me. So every time I make a big pattern change, and I mean a big pattern change, like just a big section, I'm putting in a lifeline. So if I have to tear it back and I do it wrong, the other part about that is if you are a knitter like me, I have some dyslexia. So sometimes I mess them up. Mess up the directions. So yeah, so I put those lifelines in for me to save my sanity. The cute little, there's a cute little, oh, it's not really showing up, is it? Jack-o'-lantern. Oh, getting really blowed out. Cute little jack-o'-lantern stitch marker, progress keeper, whatever you want to call it, that was sent to me by Maritime Family Fibers, and I love it. And it's perfect. So yeah, so in the sweater, I have gotten to the point where it's of course knitted top down. I added the cowl already to it because I wanted to see what it was going to look like in my head. I needed to see that. So I have gotten to about here, and pretty soon I will have to break for the sleeves, and I'll just put those on other smaller sets of circulars and hold them off to the side, and then continue on with the body, and then I'll go back and do the sleeves and the pocket, and that should be about it on that. That should do that. It goes fast. The body is all stockinette stitch, so I'm good with that. I have some more yarn. The Icelandic Tourism Bureau is doing an online event tomorrow, October 29th, so in the day when you see this video probably. October 29th in the afternoon, I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern time, they're going to post a video where they're talking about knitting fingerless gloves. And it's using a certain Icelandic wool called Let Lopi, and it's 100% Icelandic wool, and I'm trying to say, I cannot tell you where it comes from in Iceland because I can't understand it enough to read it. So I bought this. I bought it through Love Knits. That's where I found it. And it came like this. I got three skeins of it. There's a white, a navy blue, and sort of a grayish black. Really, really affordably priced. It's like $6 a skein. And I think there's 150 grams per skein. Now, to do the fingerless mitts that they're talking about, they said you wanted 1 or 2 of these and a 4mm, 4mm, what is that, a 6 needles, set of needles to do it. I'm hoping to have it on repeat on the channel because I signed up, but then I realized I'm working tomorrow. So hopefully they will post the video for me to watch afterwards. But yeah, so this is, it's a wool. I mean, it's a very traditional Icelandic wool, and it's got a bit of, it does remind me of the Briggs, is it Briggs Little yarn that I get from Maritime Fiber Family? It's a heavier wool. That's one of the other things I got. Briggs Little Sport Weight, 100% pure wool. This I get from Maritime Family Fibers in Cutler, Maine. Beautiful, beautiful rich red. I'm hoping to make some Christmas stockings. I'm working on pattern for Christmas stockings. So yeah, so this is, I figured I could do ooh, wow, that keeps blowing that out big time. I apologize. I'll have to fix that. If I can figure out how. My hope was to do 2 sets of the wristlets or fingerless gloves with the white as a contrasting design. Now, Icelandic is very much like what are they called? The mittens with all the intricate designs that are on them, and they're like Norwegian. I don't think they're Norwegian. There's another name for them. So they're very similar to that. So that is I thought this was just the best little holder that this yarn came in. And as I said, that was from Love Knits. But you know, Woolly Thistle in Vermont has this yarn. And she talked about this yarn, and I thought, oh, I bet that's really expensive. So I didn't look into it for her, but I wish I had really done a little more. I was kind of last minute Googling, hoping to get this before the workshop. So, yeah. So as I said, I had that acquisition, and then I had this. I have a green also that I am doing a special project out of. And it's the same. It's the Sport, Briggs Little Sport. Briggs Little is actually in Canada. And Maritime Fiber goes across the border to process it at the mill. She has her own sheep, and she processes at the mill. And she's got some great looking fibers. I've done I've had a couple other ones of hers that I've shown. But this is, I thought, would be fantastic for some sort of Christmas projects. Oh, and I have been talking about, yes, there's more yarn. This is the Witch Candy package of yarn that I was talking. These mini skeins. Each skein is, and I have no idea, they're small skeins. But it's Witch Candy hand-dyed yarns. I don't know if you can really see the gradient on this, darker up to lighter. And I fell in love with this, and I was thinking, I really want a project where these are the pops of color that are in there. So I've been trying to figure out, she's got some fantastic yarn. Her colors are really just like out there, beautiful, vibrant. She has one that looks like that jewel corn. And I fell in love with that. I gotta stay off that. So off of her site, because it's just gonna cause me problems. So anyways, so yeah, so that one I was looking at doing. Let's see if you can see this. This is the Pixels pullover by Claudia Q, a unit pattern. And I don't think it was free. If anything, it might have been free, but it was not that expensive. And it's a really cute, boxy design. Let's see if there's another picture in here of it. My printed out copy. So yeah, so it's got a very boxy design straight across. I loved the neck on this. I thought this was very elegant. Almost like a ballerina neck, you know, in a way. Although it seems a little more boxy than that. And my idea, and I don't think I have enough to do it, so I may have to revert to something else. But my thought was, if you did this in a gray, or even a little bit darker gray would be really pretty. And then use some very vibrant colors in a fade. Do the fade up or down, either way, whichever one you feel comfortable with, in these pixel boxes that are on the sweater. Now, like I said, I don't have enough. I'd have to buy more. Don't tell husband. But I thought that this would be really, really a nice presentation for this sweater. And I may do it for my daughter. She's always knitworthy, but she's not always a sweater person. So we'll have to address that one. I'm not sure about that one. So those were my yarn acquisitions, and hopefully I won't have any for a while more. They've been getting kind of overwhelming. I need to do some stuff with them. I showed everything else for yarn. So yeah, so that's where we stand on patterns. What have I got going on? I think that's it. I'd love to tell you there's a ton of stuff, you know, that we've been working on. And I'm sure I'll come across those notes that I was trying to make for myself so I could talk about it. But, you know, these are crazy times. I won't talk about all of what's going on, but just know that, you know, there are people out there who are listening that care about you, that understand that the tension is really, really bad right now, and the anxiety. More and more I talk to people who just seem to be trying so hard to hold on. So, you know, just know that you're not alone. There's a lot of us out there. And we will make it through this one way or the other, one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. So, that's it for now. If I throw at anything else, I'll let you guys know. In the meantime, you know, stay safe, stay healthy, and know that I am sending you blessings from Maine. All right, bye.